Hello and welcome to Lovely English Stories. Thank you for stopping by. This story is for advanced English learners. Ready? Well, let's get started. C1 C2 English Story. A quiet start to the year. The first days of January in England are a curious mix of reflection and renewal. The lingering scent of pine from Christmas trees clings faintly to living rooms, though most decorations are hurriedly packed away as people reclaim their homes from the festive chaos. For Amelia, the new year always brought a sense of transition and a delicate balance between the old and the new. Amelia lived in a quiet suburban village on the outskirts of Oxford. The streets were eerily calm on New Year's Day, save for the occasional dog walker bundled in scarves or a runner determined to uphold a resolution. The world felt hushed, as though catching its breath after the celebrations of the night before. In truth, Amelia had stayed in. The days of wild New Year's Eve parties had long passed her by, replaced by the quiet satisfaction of watching the fireworks on TV with a cup of tea. The morning light streamed through her frosted window as she prepared her first coffee of the year. Outside, the thin veil of mist rolled across the empty fields. She watched it from her kitchen, her thoughts drifting. There was something melancholic, yet hopeful about this time of year. December had been a blur of twinkling lights and bustling shops, but January, by contrast, was understated and almost sombre. By mid-morning, she decided to venture out. Wrapping herself in her warmest coat, Amelia walked down to the local park. The trees stood bare, their skeletal branches etched against the grey sky. The ground was still damp from the overnight frost, and each step crunched softly beneath her boots. She passed a few families and exchanged polite nods with strangers. England in January was like this: reserved, thoughtful, and a little distant. As she reached the duck pond, Amelia paused. The water was still, mirroring the pale sky above. A small group of ducks huddled together near the bank, their feathers puffed against the chill. She couldn't help but smile at their resilience. The ducks seemed symbolic of this time of year, enduring, patient, waiting for the warmth of spring. The afternoon brought a different mood. The high street, which had been silent in the morning, began to show signs of life. Shop windows displayed bold "sale" signs in red and white, enticing bargain hunters inside. Amelia strolled past a bookshop and decided to step in. There was comfort in the rows of spines, the faint smell of paper and ink. She purchased a novel, feeling a small spark of satisfaction. Returning home as dusk fell, Amelia found the streets illuminated by a soft glow from the street lamps. In the fading light, she reflected on her resolutions. This year, she promised herself, would be one of simplicity and intention, no lofty goals or unrealistic ambitions, just small, deliberate steps forward. As she sat by her fireplace that evening, book in hand, Amelia felt a quiet contentment. The new year in England wasn't grand or dramatic. It was subtle, almost meditative, and a time to reset, recalibrate, and find beauty in the everyday. For Amelia, that was enough. Now, let's go through some of the vocabulary we have just read in this advanced story. If we don't explain a word that you don't understand, please comment and we will get back to you with an explanation. Grand. If something is grand, then it is impressive, large, or splendid. The New Year's fireworks were grand as they lit up the sky. Occasional. If something is occasional, it happens sometimes, but not regularly or often. Amelia encountered the occasional dog walker on her morning stroll. Renewal is the act of making something fresh, new, or strong again. The new year felt like a time for renewal. Simplicity is the quality of being uncomplicated, easy to understand, or you've got it, simple. Amelia valued the simplicity of her life. Spines. Now, these are the narrow part of the book where the pages are bound together. Often the spine of the book will have the author's name and the title of the book, and sometimes a little icon or symbol of the publishing house. And it helps you pick out which book you want in the library or a shop. So that's the spine. She browsed the spines of the books in the bookshop. Veil is a thin layer or covering of something. The morning mist hung over the fields like a delicate veil. Chill. Chill is a feeling of coldness in the air. The chill in the January air made Amelia bundle up in her warmest coat. Remember, to chill can also be a more idiomatic term that means to relax, very different to the meaning in this story. Clings, or to cling, means to hold on to something tightly or to stick to it. The faint scent of pine from the Christmas trees still clings to the living room. Drifting, or to drift, means to move slowly and without a fixed direction. Her thoughts were drifting as she stared out of the window. Perhaps she was daydreaming. Fireplace. A fireplace is a structure in a room where a fire is made for warmth. Amelia sat by the fireplace. Glow. A glow is a soft, warm light. The street lamps gave the high street a gentle glow as dusk settled. Lingering means to last for a long time or to be slow to leave. The lingering scent of Christmas reminded Amelia of the festive season. Resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover or adapt quickly after perhaps something challenging or difficult has happened. The ducks by the pond seem to embody resilience, braving the cold winter air. Resolution. A resolution is a firm decision to do or not do something. People make New Year's resolutions. Amelia made a resolution to live with more simplicity and intention. Spark. A spark is a small burst of energy or enthusiasm. Buying a new book gave Amelia a spark of excitement. Subtle. We don't pronounce the B, it is not subtle, it is subtle. Subtle means delicate or not immediately obvious. The changes in the landscape during January were subtle. Symbolic means serving as a symbol or a representation of something. The ducks by the pond felt symbolic of patience and endurance in winter. Transition. Transition is the process of changing from one state or condition to another. The first days of January marked a quiet transition from festive celebrations to everyday life, back to the routine. To uphold. This verb means to maintain or support something, especially a principle or a standard. The runner on the frosty path was determined to uphold their New Year's resolution. Venture. To venture means to go somewhere or do something that might be risky. Amelia decided to venture out for a walk despite the cold air. Blur. A blur is something that is unclear or hard to see or remember. The excitement of December had passed in a blur. Bundled, or to bundle, means to wrap tightly in layers to keep warm. The children were bundled in scarves and coats. Contentment means a state of being satisfied and at peace or at ease. Amelia felt a sense of contentment as she sat by the fire with her new book. Eerily. Eerily means in a strange or unsettling way. The streets were eerily quiet on New Year's Day. Enticing means attractive or tempting. The sale signs in the shop windows were enticing to bargain hunters. Etched means to carve or mark something clearly, often permanently. The bare branches were etched against the grey winter sky. Huddle. To huddle means to come together closely for warmth or comfort. The ducks huddled by the bank. Hurriedly means to do something quickly or with haste. Most decorations were hurriedly packed away by January. Hushed. Hushed means quiet or calm. The world felt hushed, as though resting after the festivities of the night before. Illuminated, or to illuminate, means to light something up. The street was illuminated by soft, glowing street lamps. Lofty. Lofty means high, impressive, or ambitious. Amelia avoided setting lofty resolutions. Meditative. Sometimes this sounds a bit as you are saying it, but a bit like crisps can sound like you are saying the same sort of sound a lot. Crisps. Meditative. Meditative. Meditative means involving deep thought or contemplation. January felt like a meditative time to reflect on the year ahead. Melancholic. Are you melancholic? This means feeling or expressing sadness or wistfulness. The grey skies had a melancholic feel. Puffed, or to puff, means to swell or expand, often with air. The ducks puffed their feathers to stay warm against the chill. Recalibrate. To recalibrate means to adjust or reassess something for better results. Amelia took time to recalibrate her priorities. To reclaim. To reclaim means to get something back that was lost or taken. She wanted to reclaim her home from the clutter of festive decorations. To reset means to set again or to start something afresh. January was a time to reset and embrace new possibilities. Skeletal means to resemble a skeleton. It's often used to describe something or someone that is thin or bare. The skeletal trees stood starkly against the misty landscape. Somber. If something is somber or someone, then they are serious, dark, or dull in tone. The high street felt somber after Christmas. Streamed, or to stream, means to flow in a continuous current or line. The morning sunlight streamed through the frosted window. Street lamps or street lights are lamps that light up streets or roads at night. Quite self-explanatory, really. The street lamps gave the quiet village a warm and welcoming glow. To stroll means to walk in a relaxed, leisurely way. Amelia strolled along the high street, enjoying the peacefulness of the day. Suburban is relating to a residential area on the outskirts of a city or a town. Amelia, lived in a suburban village far from the bustle of city life. Twinkling. Twinkling means shining with a faint flickering light. The twinkling holiday lights had been packed away, leaving the street darker in January. We hope you enjoyed this advanced, lovely English story and the vocabulary explanations. Thank you for stopping by. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you soon.